Surely the man is as much to blame for considering giving the woman that amount of money. It's a turn off, surely. I don't understand the last part of that, Sadie, but absolutely. A man shouldn't agree to this. All I will say on that is, particularly in the Arab world, once you've been raised in a particular culture, if you don't educate yourself and think laterally, you tend to just go with the motion, go with the momentum. And that momentum, that motion, that notion is, this is what everyone else is doing, so this is what I have to do as well. Like, there's no other option. I've got to pay her. I've got to buy a kilo of gold for her. But I agree with you in principle, Sadie. He is absolutely as much to blame for this. No doubt about it. Right. Alhamdulillah. What do you do if your girl has a tendency to be very dominant and refuses to be submissive? That's a great question. Mariam, no, I'm not Shia. What do you do if your girl has a tendency to be very dominant and refuses to be submissive? I will answer this with the following. Some women are naturally more dominant and less capable, less able to respect a man than others. It's not what he brings out of her per se, although that has a great impact. But some women are just less able to respect a man than others. Some women come to them with ease, naturally. Very submissive, very respectful, easily. And this is why one of the deal breakers I put in one of my videos, I think it was on YouTube, is do not marry or pair up with a woman who finds it difficult to respect you. She will constantly competency test you over and over. My Lord, is draining. Absolutely draining. She needs to feel like, I need to constantly test this man to see if he's up to it, to see if I can respect him. Don't get involved with those type of women. So my answer to you is this. I don't know what type of man you are. Okay? That it may well be the case that you deserve to be disrespected. I don't know. You know your situation better than me. But I will say this. In general principle, general rule. If a woman struggles to respect her man, it's difficult for her, she puts you through a whole bunch of tests that you've got to jump through, all these hoops, stay away from her. She's toxic material. Stay away. Right. Okay, this is a reasonable question. Hannah, what advice would you give to ladies 25 plus who have had a hard time looking for marriage and who have reasonable standards? This is a good question. What advice would I give to them? Again, I don't know what you're like, sister. Let me pause these comments, man. Pause these comments. I don't know what you're like, sister. But I will say to you, if you have any emotional baggage, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Take care of your appearance. Men are very visually oriented. Take care of your appearance. Make sure that you're in shape. There's no excuse for being out of shape. Men are very visually oriented. Take care of that. Work on your mannerisms and femininity. Men love feminine women. Your ability to be submissive, to be respectful, and so on. Work on yourself. Add value to yourself. Increase value in the areas that men value. You'll have women say to you, well, why should I care about what a man values in a woman? Why should I care about that? Well, let me tell you why. Because men are the customers of women. If the customer doesn't like what he sees, he's not biting. Equally, women are the customers of men. And one of the rules, you could say, one of the prerequisites women in general have placed upon men is, if you're not able to provide me with security, I ain't interested in you. You don't see men crying and saying, why should we care what women want from us? Oh, I'm going to be broke and she should still love me. This is madness. This is ridiculous. Women are the customers of men. Men are the customers of women. So bearing in mind this knowledge, consider what it is that a man values in a woman, values the most. Her beauty, her femininity, her submissiveness, her ability to respect a man, her ability to cooperate with a man. And take that information and work on it. Work on all of it. Now you make yourself more valuable to a man. I hope that helps, Hannah. Okay. If you want to come live, send me a request. What is a mahar? Real quick. Mahar means dowry. Okay. It's a sum of money or an object, could be like gold, that you give to the woman before in order for her to accept you as her husband. The equivalent in the West would be a ring. Like a man buys a nice diamond ring, white gold diamond ring, puts it on his wife's hand. That's the general equivalent. Is £10,000 too much? Oh Lord. Is £10,000 too much? I'm able to pay. All right, look. Let me give a fair answer to this. Bilal, if you're a royal family, I'm going to use an extreme example. If you're the son of a king, okay, and you're looking to marry the daughter of a minister, I'm pretty sure the numbers in that crew are going to be very different to the numbers of the general population. What's considered low for them is considered high for us. So it's relative now, right? It becomes relative. So the question is not, are you able to pay it? Because you still might go broke. Maybe you got £10,001 in your account. You're able to pay it, but you're going to go broke. The question is, in your circle, in your environment where you've been raised, is this considered a reasonable sum or even a low sum on the low side? If the answer is yes, go for it. I don't know, maybe you're the son of a king, King Bilal. Maybe you are. So it's according to your environment, okay? Generally speaking, the lower the better. Whoops. What does fadl mean when you said a virgin? Fadl means preferred. Preferred, there's a preference. Okay? Virgin women are preferred. Could the mahar be high because she sees him as a beta male? Okay, let's address this question. Could the mahar be high because she sees him as a beta male who will bend to her will, therefore she takes advantage of him? Sometimes, maybe, sometimes, I don't know. But why would she want to get with the beta male in the first place? Look, guys, like, we're making this... Women, you tell us not to objectify you, right? Sisters, you're telling us not to objectify you. And then you objectify yourself by giving yourself a sky-high price tag. Which is it? Okay, let's look. This is a good question. You say that men shouldn't marry women who have been married before. What if it's her fault, like she's a widow or got cheated on? I'm presuming you're saying what if it's not her fault? All right, firstly and foremostly, I am not saying to men don't marry them. I am saying I don't recommend it. And let me explain to you why I don't recommend it. Okay. I've married a divorcee before who had children, okay? And I don't want to go into too much detail because I want to respect her privacy. But the one thing I will say is this, in general terms, a woman who's been through multiple long-term relationships, there's damage there. There's damage. She's connected to a man and then it broke. And then she connected to another one and then it broke. And then she's connected to a third and it's broke. Okay? So there's damage there. That's the first thing. The second thing, and this is something a lot of people are not talking about, is if you form a relationship with her children, you form a relationship with her kids, and that marriage comes to an end, you as a man are thrust into paternal no man's land. You are thrust into paternal no man's land. You have no rights to see those kids. None at all. And this is heartbreaking. It's devastating. And no one's talking about this. No one's talking about this. So you got to consider these facts, man. And I mean, there's other facts to consider as well. If she has daughters, you have to be careful. One day those daughters might grow up and maybe accuse you of something you never did. I know someone personally who was accused of raping his stepdaughter and he was later acquitted. Never happened. It was a fabrication. But I know this person. It happens. So, you know, you're signing yourself up to a lot of work when you marry a divorcee, particularly a divorcee with kids. There's emotional baggage, and if she's got children, I'm sorry, men see that as baggage as well. It is baggage. It's not the same as marrying a woman who's a blank slate, a blank canvas, paint on it as you like, and she has no kids. It's not the same. Okay. Whoa, okay, just real quick. Are men with erectile dysfunction beta? No, he might just be sick. He needs to get checked out. Right, I've addressed those questions. Do you recommend marrying women from the US? Because it seems like finding good women from here is hard. Listen, Good women and bad women are everywhere, as are good men and bad men. There's no country where there are more or less good women, right? Good is wherever you look for it. I don't know nothing about the US, so I can't comment on that, whether there's more or less. But just look. Good women and bad women, just like good men and bad men, are everywhere. A real man, let's address this. Maryam, a real man heals his woman if he loves her. No. Incorrect. You must heal yourself. That's your job. If you are not willing to heal, no amount of his effort will heal you. You need to fix yourself. And I'll finish with a proverb. If you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on those who never cut you. You need to fix yourself. Don't bring your baggage and your trash to a relationship and expect us to fix it. Just as we wouldn't bring our emotional baggage and expect you to fix it. And if a man does do that, this is wrong. We are responsible for ourselves. Heal yourself. It's not the responsibility of anyone else except you. Right. I saw you in town like 3 weeks ago. Yes, bro. What's going on? Why does guy keep... okay. Ruby. This is a good one. Why does a guy keep trying? I haven't met him. I've said I don't want him. And yet he still texts me every day. I'm really glad you've written this, Ruby. Thank you. Because this is very beneficial for the gentleman. All right, Ruby, I will tell you why he's continuing to message you. He's continuing to message you precisely because you've stopped messaging him. We innately want what we can't have. You'll see the most expensive designer bags or designer cars like the Bugatti, what's it called? La voiture noire. It's called the black car. That's literally what it's called. It's one of one, $15 million, I believe. $15 million for this one car. It's a nice looking car, don't get me wrong, but it looks like the Veyron with a few extra exhaust pipes. But it's so desirable because there's only one, which means not everyone can have it. We innately want what we can't have. So because you have pulled back from him, he now wants to possess you even more. The irony is called The Passion Trap. And I've recommended this book many times. There's a book on it called The Passion Trap. Type it up on Amazon. That's why he keeps contacting you. Now, to the gentleman, I will say to you, gentlemen, if she's stopped communicating with you or she has significantly decreased her communication with you, take the hint. Take the hint. Okay?